Now let us see chapter 11. Now, what happened? The whole village was electrified. எல்லாருக்கும் புல்லரிக்கிற ஒரு நியூஸ். Okay, with this ghastly news, all those villagers, the people of the village, okay, the whole village was suddenly electrified with this ghastly news. And by noon, afternoon, the news of this murder spread to all the places, and the bloody knife has been found in the woods, and it is also recognized it is none other than Muff Potter's knife. So one of the villagers, okay, claims to have seen Muff Potter washing himself in the creek. Muff Potter usually won't wash himself because this man is always a drunkard, no, or a moda kudikaran, toppers. So he never gets himself washed. So what happened? One of the villagers watched this Muff Potter washing himself, especially at 2 o'clock in the early morning. Okay, especially at 2 o'clock in the early morning. Then the sheriff in that town, he sent some horsemen. They just departed down to all the roads in every direction. Okay, and the sheriff was confident. He believed that before this night, the murderer will be found out. இன்னைக்கு நைட்டுக்குள்ள கண்டிப்பா நாம கண்டுபிடிச்சே தீருவோம் அப்படின்னு அந்த ஷெரீஃப் இருக்கிறாரு. And the towns people also, they were very curious, so they headed towards the graveyard. All the people, they moved towards the graveyard. Okay, and Tom also follows the crowd. Okay, and here what happened? Tom's heart was throbbing. Lucked up, because he only knows that Injun Joe is the murderer. Huckleberry Finn and Tom Jones, Sawyer. Okay, sorry. Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer, they only know who is the murderer. Okay, Injun Joe. But here, unfortunately, they could see Injun Joe also. And Injun Joe, he is just standing nearby him. Okay. So Tom shivered from head to heel. The murderer, and his eyes also fell upon this solid face. Okay. Solid face. Stolid. Okay, it is mentioned. Stolid is nothing but impassive. Just I shall type here. Okay, stolid means impassive. As if he does not know anything else. Just he pretends அவனுக்கு ஒண்ணுமே தெரியாத மாதிரி ரொம்ப காமா வந்து அங்க நிக்கிறான். Okay, as if he hasn't committed the murder. So with his impassive face. So this is the meaning for the word stolid. So Tom shivers by looking at the impassive face of Injun Joe. And here again there is another thing happened. What happens means the sheriff, he came through, okay, ostentatiously. Ostentatiously. You might have heard this word. Ostentatious. In Tamil, போலி பகட்டுன்னு சொல்லுவோம். போலி பகட்டு. Okay, ostentatious. Ostentatiously just leading porter by the arm. Even அப்படியே தோள் மேல போட்டு கூட்டு வர்ற மாதிரி. Okay, this boy, this sheriff, okay, he led a muff water, okay, by his arm. This poor fellow, okay, Muff Potter, he was so haggard, so begone, so be tired. I have studied in Label, Names and Mercy, this poetry, okay, written by John Keats. So haggard, நான் ரொம்ப லேசி அப்படி கவலையோட அப்படி வரான் தள்ளாடி okay, யாரு Muff Potter, okay. This boy, this man was so haggard, and his eyes showed the fear that so what happened? This Muff Potter, okay, he was so haggard and his eyes, okay, showed the fear that was upon him. So when he stood before the murdered man, he shook as if with palsy. அவனுக்கு அப்படி நடுக்கமா நிக்கிறான் பார்க்கறான். Okay, Dr. Robinson's dead body is there. Okay, and he put his face in his hands like this and burst into tears. Oh no, I didn't do it, friends. அப்படின்னு அப்படியே தேம்பி அழுகிறான். Okay, he sobbed. He just I have never done it. அப்படின்னு ரொம்ப தேம்பி அழுகுது புலம்புறான். Okay, then a voice shouted, okay, and whose voice means it is the voice of Injunju. Who has accused you? He says, okay, and Huckleberry and Tom Sawyer, they just stood dumb and staring. அப்படியே பார்க்குறாங்க இங்க என்னதான் நடக்குது, வாட் இஸ் கோயிங் ஆன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஓகே, உன்னை யாரு அக்யூஸ் பண்ணா? ஓகே, உன்னை யாரு குற்றம் சாட்டினா? ஓகே, he says, who accused you? Of course, saying what? Anyway, Muff Potter swears that he did not do it, but the Indian Joe did not support him. Okay, he did not support him. All the people also suspected Muff Potter only. So this is what happened in chapter 11, and this chapter also further continues. Tom is very afraid of, okay, he was fearful, he was afraid, what it does means whether he would tell the truth somebody else, okay, whether he would tell the truth to somebody else. So his fearful secret, it gnawing, actually Gnaw, gnawing na squirrel ஞாஸ் ஞாஸ்னா கொறிக்கிறது. இவன் மனசாட்சியை போட்டு இங்க உறுத்துது. Okay, the fearful secret gnaws, it is gnawing his conscience. Okay, it disturbed his sleep also the whole night. This boy was just lamenting something in his sleep. ஏதோ புலம்புறான். And see, When he was lying on the bed, Sid is also lying nearby him, and Sid hears this voice lamenting, okay, and the mourning, okay. What he laments means what will happen and the murder, okay, all those just he's talking about that graveyard murder and the stabbing, all these scenes. It is just running in his mind, so he laments over it. And what happened one day at breakfast, this boy Sid, he tells everyone, he tells Aunt Polly, Mary, okay, everyone, that Tom talks about the murder in his sleep. And Aunt Polly was shocked. What? He talked about murder in his sleep. Okay. And at this time, Tom was very much afraid and he spilled the coffee. அப்படியே காஃபியை சதறிடுறான். Okay, he spilled. Okay, spilled na just shattered into pieces. Here, சிதறது. Okay, the food is spilled. We say here coffee is spilled. But this boy explained as if he has a toothache. Okay, so every night, whenever they tried to ask him what happened to you, why you are just lamenting in the sleep, this boy just hold his jaw tight, shut his mouth every night. Okay, he had toothache, just to escape. Okay, from that, there is he wanted to hide the truth from his Aunt Polly and his family members. So he escaped as if complaining he has a toothache. Okay. Then this is what happened. Then this chapter ends like this. See, Tom is so scared. Okay. And eventually he grows tired of the ruse, but he cannot help his own depressed feeling. அவனுக்கே அவனுடைய சொத்தை போக்குறதுக்கு முடியல. So what he did, the jail was just nearby. Okay, the jail was a trifling little brick tent that stood in a marsh, ஒரு சகதி marsh, okay, பகுதியில் இருக்கு, at the end of the village, okay, at the edge of the village, and there were no guards afforded for it. Indeed, it was seldom occupied. It was not occupied by the any other people in that village also. Okay, there were no guards. No guards were afforded for it. And Tom Jones, he went to that place. Okay, he takes always sneaking, okay, little treats to Muff Potter. அங்கே போய் இவன் இருக்கிறானான்னு பார்த்துட்டு வரான். Okay, whether Muff Potter through the bars of his cells, okay, in order to ease his conscience. Okay, to ease his conscience, he just went to that jail. Okay, so what happened? He could not tell the secret, so he kept mum. There was a contract signed between Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer, so he reminded of that. And later that, all the village people, they had a strong desire, okay, to tar and feather Injun Joneயும் நம்ம வந்து வேகமா கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். For what reason means not for that murder, okay, but for body snatching. He snatched the dead body from the grave, no? So for that reason also, கையும் களவுமா பிடிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு all the village people, okay, they had a strong desire, okay, to tar and feather Injun Joe. That's what this chapter ends, but they could not capture injunction in this chapter. Thank you, Pa. Let us see chapter 12 in the next class.